morning, everybody, or good evening, everybody, wherever you guys may be. But I just woke up and been drinking a couple cups of coffee, and decided I'm gonna go ahead and knock this out. So this is Metal Tagged 2023, which are questions put out by the Rock Scouts. I don't know if he does it every year. I'm kind of new to this. I've been doing this for about a year and a half. Last year I didn't do it, but this year I've seen several, and they have inspired me to move forward and do one for my channel. So this is gonna be fun. I'll post a link to the questions that Rock Scout put out. So forgive me, I'm kind of groggy, trying to wake up and get moved around. I'll drink some body armor, maybe that'll juicing my brain and then move forward. But in the background, we'll be listening to Obsession, Scarred for Life. So pretty killer US power metal. Almost has a glam tinge to it. Just felt in the mood for something like this. But this is not part of the metal tag, so I'm gonna get on with it. Quit fucking around, excuse my language. Okay, so the first question, I'll post all the questions that Rock Scout has on his page as well, or his chat, that video he put out. So, False Star album, an album you struggled with but grew to like. Well, there's several of them, but the one that really sticks out the most would be Entombed's Wolverine Blues. I wanted another Left Hand Path or Clandestine, and this album didn't have that sound to me. It was more, of course, the rock and death and rock or whatever. So I struggled with this for a long time. I actually made a video probably a year ago about albums that I struggled with. Yeah, full-length video. But this is one of them. Now, of course, I think this is a fantastic album. It just took a little bit to grow on me. But Wolverine Blues is my answer for that question. Next one was album with war theme lyrics. The only one I could have put Bolt Thrower. There are several others I've seen people show, but I don't think I've seen anybody show Bear Mace. Charred Fields of Slaughter, which is I can't remember where they're from. Somewhere here in the U.S. I want to say Chicago, but I could be wrong. It's more in that area. But it's, I guess, death metal. It's really thrashy death metal. But the vocalist has a real deep gurgling vocals, kind of like Annie Bowman from Demolek. But Mark G with a C showed this on his channel one night. He had it playing in the background. And I think I immediately ordered this album after watching his video. So, and this could be going to another question on here, but I'll just skip that. Bear Mace, Charred Fields of Slaughter, killer one. And I will post links to the description below if you don't know some of these. Next one, most influential metal musician of the last 10 years. I'm gonna have to say my favorite, and he's in several different projects, would be, this is a picture disc, Jake Rogers from Visigoth. His vocals are absolutely amazing. Also, he does the vocals in Caledon Brood, and I want to say Gallows, is it Gallow Braid? I don't have any Gallow Braid or Caledon Brood, but I have several Visigoth albums. This one's my favorite one, which is Conqueror's Oath, which I have this on CD as well, but I just love this picture disc. And that freaking beautiful. It's my favorite artwork. But anyway, his vocals Jake Rogers' vocals are just phenomenal. If you don't know this band, look up the song Trader's Gate off this Visigoth album. It's perfection in my mind. So next one is a band on your want to see list. I'd say of the newer bands, I've seen a lot of bands. I haven't seen Blood Incantation yet. So I got several Blood Incantation albums. This is my favorite one. And they're probably one of my more favorite modern death metal bands. It's phenomenal stuff. So Blood Incantation would be my want to see. And number 5, an album that energizes you. It always has. I'm gonna have to show this one. Slayer, Rain and Blood. It's not my favorite Slayer album, but it's still a damn good Slayer album. It's probably my second favorite one. It's just from day one, it never gets old. I think a lot of the reason why it never gets old is the album's so short. It's direct to the point, but the breakdowns in this are freaking awesome. The hooks, the drive, the vocals are very catchy and memorable. So, but it's just fist pumping all the way through. I think the album's only 26 or 27 minutes long, if I remember right. I could be wrong on that, but fantastic one. So this is the album that energizes me, Slayer, Rain and Blood. Next question. Big Freeze, show an album, cover, song, or lyric. Well, it's gonna have to be this one. Heavy Load, which is Swedish heavy metal. I think this album was released in 81 or 80. But look at that snowy background, snow-covered pine trees, mountains, polar bear, and a Viking, and a snow-covered wilderness. It screams ice cold. One of my favorite heavy metal albums of all time is this one. So Heavy Load, Death or Glory is the name of the album. Hey, number 6, a song title with royal ties. I struggled with this a little bit, and I know I told Thomas and somebody else that we don't really have royalty over here in the U.S. But hopefully this doesn't offend anybody, because I know the Queen just passed away. But the only thing I could really think of was Anthrax, God Save the Queen, off of Armed and Dangerous, the EP. I've always dug that song. Dig this EP. Haven't listened to it in a while, but that's my answer to that particular question. So, God Save the Queen by Anthrax. I don't know if I think that might be a cover. I can't remember who they covered it from. A predominantly green album cover. I picked the greenest album cover I could find, guys. It's gonna be Toxic World Circus. And that is some awesome greenage there, if you ask me. But yeah, World Circus, killer ass thrash with power metal vocals, kind of like in this vein right here. Really a thrash attack, guitars, just one of the best. And also make this even more green. This is a reissue, of course, and the reissues came on green wax. So it's a fitting answer for that one. Next one, number 9, an album of 21 that you bought but have not listened to this year. That's easy. And I still love this album, but I just don't listen to this a lot. Warflurch, I think it's Psychedelic Realms of Hell. It's a really good album, but it's not my go-to. And I don't know, maybe I'll just pop it in here later on and break that, but I should put this in my top 21 list, and I never did because I forget about it. Good one, Chlorflurch, Psychedelic Realms of Hell for that one. So, best find in 2022, old or new, it's going to be this Cemetery, An Evil Shade of Grey, which is OG Press. I found in a used bin for $5. If anybody knows, this is Swedish death metal. I showed it in another video before, but to find one of these albums that is very hard to find, and then when you go like on Discogs or anything, and it costs an arm and a leg just to buy a copy of this, even the bootlegs and reissues. Fantastic one, of course, but so stoked. I bought this for $5, by the way. $5 in a used bin. So, Cemetery, Evil Shade of Grey. New band album discovery of 2022. I say this one, and that's because when I went to the record, it's Ectoplasma Inferna Kabbalah, I think. But I seen this in the record store, and Rob bought it just due to the artwork, just like the old days. And it turned out to be one of my favorite death metal albums of 2022. And after looking this band up, I think they're Greek too. They have several releases which I plan on getting, but this one, it's kind of like I guess the best way to describe it, like Benediction and several other bands, but that's the band that comes to mind whenever I listen to this. But it's on Rotted Life, I guess. Fantastic one. Album cover sold me. Then it turned out to be a badass album. Album sold by you by a song. Sold to you by a song. Can't read my own handwriting. But it's going to be this one, because this is now my favorite Watain album. And the song is Wolf's Curse. It's probably my favorite black metal song of all time. And just to be brutally honest, I think that is one absolutely fantastic track, and I listen to quite a bit. I'm a huge fan of the Wolves, so I think that's another part of it. But that side B, usually I listen to that 2 or 3 times before I flip it over or go to the next disc. But yeah, Watain, Wolf's Curse off of Lawless Darkness for that question. So 13, most anticipated album of 2022. That's easy. Obituary. That's got to be a lot of people's, but I listened to one of the tracks they've released from it, and it sounds like the old school ways of Obituary. It sounds like something off Slowly Rewrought or Cause of Death in my ears. So hopefully the whole album sounds like that. 23rd album on your shelf. So I counted this way. I didn't want to go this way because I just showed that whole cubicle a couple weeks back. So I went to the next cubicle, and so the 23rd album was Viogression, Expound and Exhort, which, funny enough, we'll just talk about Obituary. This band sounds a lot like Obituary, even the vocalist, down to the vocalist. But 1991 death metal album, but definitely my 23rd on the shelf. Let's see here. Last album that has gone into your collection. It would be this. We spent most of my money on other things. The only last album I bought was Bolt Thrower's Mercenary. So it's been a while since I picked one up, because I think this was in a collection of a video 2 or 3 weeks ago. So of course the holidays, can't be selfish, and so This is the last album I picked up. And I think in that video I said it was Earache, but it's actually Metal Blade. So there's a correction for you. But yeah, last one I bought. Killer album. Bolt Thrower, of course, Mercenary. A random pull from your collection. Of course, when I was picking those albums up, I just closed my eyes and grabbed one album, and it happened to be Crypt Sermon, Out of the Garden, which I haven't listened to in a long time. But this is another fantastic doom metal album. Sounds a lot like Candlemass, I guess. And the vocalist is phenomenal. He could sound like Ronnie James Dio in some parts. He's got some great vocals. But my favorite track on this is Temple Doors. Fucking awesome. So, yeah, Crypt Sermon, sorry. Out of the Garden. My random pull. Okay, let's see. Album, band you discovered through social media. There's several, because there's several channels, so I didn't want to just pick a channel. So I just picked something that YouTube actually suggested I check out. So, and the thumbnail made me click on it. It's Tomb Mold, Planetary Clairvoyance, and I clicked on it because when I first saw that album art, I was like, man, that looks like old school death metal. And this was back before I knew of the new wave of the old school style, because I was still stuck way in the past, listening to the old shit. And I clicked on that thumbnail, and I think I ordered it like 5 minutes later. So, Tomb Mold, Planetary Clairvoyance would be my pick on that question, which was album you discovered through social media. Okay, so 18, where do you see your collection progressing in the next 5 years? I can tell you this, with the price of vinyl going up, it's going to be more CDs and cassettes. I can tell you that right now. So I love vinyl, I love the sound of it, but I'm one of those guys that likes to order several albums and not just one, unless it's one I just really want. So whenever I make orders, I typically try to order about 3 or 4 albums or whatever. So I think CDs and cassettes seem to be the cheapest way to go right now, especially with our time and age. With everything going amok in the world. The release you didn't buy this year based on price alone. Yeah, I had a tough time with this one, but I'm gonna have to say that the Celtic Frost box set is gonna be the one. And I know it's not a new release, but that box set's kind of pricey, and I really wanted it bad, but just couldn't afford it, so I didn't pick it up. So that's that. And last question, a song that lets an album down. Well, that's the easiest question, and it's the easiest question of all time. And that would be I Ain't Superstitious. This song shouldn't even be on this album. This could be a 7-track album, and I'd be fine with it. So I don't know why I despise that song, but I do. But off Megadeth's piece sells, but who's buying? I Ain't Superstitious. But anyway, hope you all have enjoyed this. I watched several videos and then I stopped watching them because I didn't want to steal any ideas, I guess, unsubconsciously. So I'm gonna post this video and then start watching everybody else's. But I have watched Roger, Metal Mickey. There was a couple other I seen. I can't remember. But anyway, that's the end of this video. Decided I'm gonna sleeve these while I yap some more. And you all have a good one. Try to make another video here in a little while. I want to do one on power metal. And Thomas at Merciful Metal wanted me to show some Queensryche on this one. We was chatting the other day, and I decided I was just going to do a whole video on Queensryche. My Queensryche collection, I don't think I've bought anything new from Queensryche since 1990. So everything in my collection. When was Empire released? Was that 90 or 91? That's the last time I bought anything by Queensryche. So everything I have is OG. And it's one of my favorite bands of all time. I think I'll show that. All my stuff, which is I've done in the past throughout my video catalog. We'll have several of those albums out, but not all in one video, so I like to put it in one, which I think it's got 3 LPs, 3 cassettes, and 2 CDs. And actually, I remember I bought Empire, or the last 2 albums, on CD instead of vinyl. Now I wish I did I bought them on vinyl instead of the CDs, but anything after Empire I didn't really care for, so you won't see nothing of that. So it'll be a short ass video. I'll try to throw some other stuff in there with it. But anyway, I'm gonna quit jabbering. Y'all have a good one in 2023. Look forward to seeing everybody else's videos. Thank you, The Rock Scout, for doing this. It was really fun. Thank you. Later.